We are Connie and Lisa and we're gonna convert this van. Ooh! Hello and welcome to our episode number 2 of this van conversion. I know it's quite some time past since the first video, but also quite some things happened even though it took some time. So in this video we're gonna show you about the floor construction, the installation, the Alubutyl, the felt that we put on top of the Amaflex to make it nice and cozy, as well as the ceiling and the cables that we put. We started off with our floor construction, and for that we cleaned all the surface so that we were able to glue these wooden sticks on the ground to have a super stable base, because later on we want to be able to screw all the things that we're going to build on top into the floor. And yeah, a stable base just is super important. So we started with that, and in the gaps we filled STX plates. In Germany we call it Styrodur because it's a bit cheaper than Amaflex, and the floor is straight, so there was no need to use the flexible Amaflex. Little tip here, mark where you put the sticks on the ground, so later on you still see where's the wood to screw in deeper, because as soon as you put the insulation you might lose the overview of it. Luckily our van came with a base plate, so we just took it out, put the insulation in the sticks, and later on we could just put it back on top. And the pink plates as well as the sticks are 2 centimeters high, so we have 2 centimeters of the insulation on top, 1 centimeter of this brown plate. Konstantinos also cut these small round things because we had some round holes where the opening was to like strap heavy things to, but we want to have it an even surface, so we put these things in. Next up was the Alubutyl that we put on the sides. It's against the swing, so around super loud noises of the bigger parts of the metal of the car. And on top of that, straight away we put the Amaflex or K-Flex. We put the Amaflex / K-Flex. For the thicker parts we had K-Flex ST, which was a bit cheaper, but it's basically the same from what I read about it. And yeah, this is super easy, self-sticking, so it's super easy to attach it to the surfaces. Just make sure that it's clean. So in the nurse I also put some wax, and where you put the wax it doesn't glue, so if there was some wax that was running out I cleaned it with some alcohol, and then the surface was ready and we sticked all the insulation to make it warm and cozy inside. Kind of similar to the ground, we also put some wooden sticks to the ceiling, also to have something that we can screw in, because we didn't like so much to screw straight in the metal, because there are also some holes in the nerves and you don't want to get this one when you try to screw up the ceiling. So yeah, we glued these wooden sticks, and because we had needed something to press it up for at least 12 hours I think, we put also some sticks underneath to press it up, because obviously the ceiling is a little bit rounded. It was also super important before we put too many things to the walls that we put the cables in position. Like, we didn't connect something to the cables yet, but we had to put the cables in position, because now or then it was still possible to reach with your hands through the holes. Yeah, it was not super easy to get into the tiny spaces, but like this we managed to hide all the cables. Obviously also very important to put little tapes to it to write on what this cable is for, so later on you still know what this is for, where I connect this. Towards the battery they all came out, so a lot of pre-thinking was needed here, but I think we managed quite well, but we will see that in the end when we connect all the things to the cables. Next up we decided to put the felt to the walls. I personally really liked it because we put it straight on the Amaflex, and like this we really saved some space, which was very important to me, and at the same time it's also pretty cozy. And the places where you don't see it, we put the black super cheap one from Jumbo, because obviously you don't see it, but it's not as stretchy, so this kind of felt is not so nice to put around the corners and everything. So for that we bought a little bit more high quality one, and we chose to take a pretty bright one, like vanilla cream white kind of a color. I really like to have a van pretty bright, because if you don't have a lot of windows, obviously it can get dark pretty easily. So yeah, I really like brighter colors. I really hope it doesn't get dirty too fast, but updates on this gonna come maybe in 1 or 2 years. Yeah, but for now I really like how it's gonna look, or how I imagine it in my head. But yeah, that's it for the felt. For the ceiling we used these tongue and groove planks. We painted them white and just drilled them into the wood sticks that we stick to the ceiling before. What was really nice here that the wood planks were 4.20 meters and our car inside is also 4 meters, so we could position it as one piece. Also very important here is that you don't start with the first one. So we started with the second one and calculated how many we have in total, so that we don't end or start with one plank that's only like a tiny one or a half one, or at least less than half we didn't want to have. So yeah, we calculated in a way that we end with quite a big piece and we also start with quite a big piece. And when we drilled the hole for the solar panels, we saw unfortunately that there were like tiny little metal pieces that started to rust. I thought we cleaned it well enough when we cut the windows, but yeah, next time we have to be even more careful with the metal pieces. Inside I was super careful, but outside, even though we brushed it away, it was not clean enough. So then we really cleaned it with water and everything, and now it's clean again. But yeah, that's it for episode number 2. In the next part you're gonna see our really super nice solution to have a construction to hold the water tank. And then also in the future is gonna come the real construction of all the furniture, the bed, the garage, what I'm really looking forward to, so stay tuned for more.